I love history, right? History of sports. Um, I like to see, records get broken. We talked about it once before. I think it was Judge Tide. And I don't think yeah. So now Aaron Judge, he launches a 60-second home run. He sets an AL single season record. So salute to Aaron Judge, man. That milestone. Not too many people playing the sport has been able to do that. But it's I'm not gonna say controversial, but everybody has their difference of opinion, right? Again, Aaron Judge, monster, right? But then we go and just talk about the history of the game, and what's been what's just the history of the game, right? And just where it was at. I would say like in the early 90s when we had Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and I can't even front. Like that's when shit was like you was tuning into that. I don't care if you was a baseball fan or not. Like you was tuning into that every time Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds played, right? So you have your Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa with the PEDs and the steroids, and tarnishing that whole majestic feeling of, oh, these what these guys were able to do. And for the listeners and people that's watching, you can see here just like the home runs, right? Barry Bonds, obviously, he has the title at 73. Mark McGwire hit 70 and 98. Sammy Sosa hit 66 in 98. Mark McGwire again 65 home runs in 99. So again, you got a lot of people just talking about like, hey, Aaron Judge is the real home run king, right? Being that he didn't have to take steroids or the PEDs. I want to get everybody's opinion on this. Like, do you discount Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa again? And Tone, I would love to get your opinion on this because you are a baseball guy. And for me, it's like, and again, I'm just, who am I? You know what I mean? I'm just, I ain't nobody. But I understand what steroids does for you, right? Makes you stronger. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Ball out the motherfucking park. I get it. Steroids help with your hand-eye coordination. You still have to be able to have that ability, the curveball, the breaker. Like you still have to have that ability to stand in that box and connect.
I agree. Especially during the steroid era too, a lot of pitchers were on steroids to help them recover faster. Obviously, that made them throw faster too as well. So, to me, Barry Bonds is always going to be the home run king until someone hits 74 home runs. But what Aaron Judge did, potentially clean. I mean, he hasn't tested positive for anything, but it is incredibly impressive in this day and age, especially since he led, I think, in RBIs, like I think runs and a bunch of other categories as well. So it's definitely up there in the Bonds-ish type season. But for me, Bonds is the home run king.
I respect that. I respect that. D-Buck, man, what's your viewpoint on this?
What's good, man? Good morning. Good morning. I mean, Barry Bonds, he's definitely the home run king, obviously. But Aaron Judge, what he's done, potentially, I don't know, did he get the Triple Crown, Tom?
I know it was tight. Let me double check, make sure.
Okay, but getting close to getting the Triple Crown, hitting 62 in an era where pitchers are dominating it. Y'all still see me?
Yeah.
Yep.
You still got me, AB?
No, you good. You good.
Okay, yeah. In a pitcher dominated era, with Aaron Judge on his contract year, I'm thinking about all that shit, man. it's more impressive to me than what Barry Bonds did. I'm gonna be honest with you, because we were it was must see TV. Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and boys was knocking out the yard every night. So Aaron Judge, what he's doing now is more impressive to me because you gotta think that it's clean. But Barry Bonds is still the home run king because, like what Tone said, pitchers were on that juice too, and it was just a different era. It was a whole juiced up era. So Barry Bonds home run king, but what Aaron Judge has done with that bat has been the most impressive thing that I've seen, at least in the highlights. I haven't been watching as much as those other guys, but
you said what he's been doing with the bat is the most impressive thing that you've seen. Like Barry Bonds, what he did with his bat, that shit wasn't impressive.
I mean, it was, but it's like, I mean, it's like you run track and like guy with the dude from Canada, Ben Johnson. Like if let's say he had all the records and like Usain and he did all his clean, but Ben Johnson was still running faster times. Like Usain's shit would be more impressive to me. And obviously Usain, he's clean and has run unbelievable numbers. But I'm just saying, if it was switched, yeah, the guy that's clean, or we got to assume at least that it's clean, it's going to be more impressive than me because we played a game where you played for 14 years. I played for 9 years in the NFL, and steroids and all the other shit is not as rampant as it was in other sports, but you know cats that are on shit that's giving them a different edge. And then you know guys, you know, maybe teammates. You say, okay, this guy, I know this guy clean. Well, I got a good idea this guy's clean, and I know this guy ain't. The other dude is going to be more impressive. You know, that's just how I see it as an athlete. If you do cheat in any other way, that does knock you down a notch in my book. But the numbers are the numbers. The era was the era. But Aaron Judge, yeah, I would say that's if nobody breaks it in the next 10 years, and I'm talking to my kids, I'm going to say, yeah, Aaron Judge, that was the most impressive thing I've seen done with a bat. But that's just me.
Interesting.
So the one thing I love to say when we talk about Barry Bonds is Barry Bonds was like I believe the first 400 athlete in baseball. So 400 steals, 400 home runs. Did that all clean before basically everybody started assuming he was on steroids. He already had like 4 MVPs and he had lost 2 MVPs to guys who had later tested positive for steroids. So he really probably should have had like 6. So it's just like when the best player in the world.
You think Barry got to the steroid game late?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, well, I believe
that's. I didn't mean to cut you off, John, but
yeah.
Isn't that rumors why he got on steroids? It was like, yo, like, like I'm doing all of this and I'm clean, and these guys that's on steroids, they're getting the pub that I really should be getting because I am. And if I'm not misunderstanding, that's what I kind of heard. Like, rumors was like that's one of the reasons why he assumed that he
lost an MVP to I think Ken Caminiti and Jeff Kent. Both of them later tested positive for steroids. One of them was his teammate. He had better stats then too. And then right after the McGwire Sosa thing, basically like they got all the pub. I think he was just like, you know what, we're going all in. Like, so I mean.
Interesting take. You know, it's just one of them things that I've been listening to, and for one, I'm like, it's a no knock on Aaron Judge again. Like what he's been able to do is that shit is incredible. Again, betting on himself. He
did barely miss the Triple Crown. He was off by 0.4 or 0.04
batting average.
Yeah, batting average.
So I mean, like again, what he's done this year is impressive, but it's just, I'm hearing, I love to get just different opinions of what guys think.
So if you go back, and obviously you had a great career, if you go back and you can bump into some shit that you ain't gonna piss dirty, you're gonna be good, but you'll say, hey, I make 2x, 3x what I made in the league. You played 14 years, so I don't see you playing much. You ain't playing 19, 20 years of DB, but would you do it?
Okay, so you saying I'm gonna take this shit. I'm not gonna get caught. I ain't gonna piss dirty, and my play is gonna elevate.
Yeah, you're gonna recover faster, be faster, hit harder, hand-eye coordination voice. You probably
book my flight.
But you're gonna know.
Book my flight.
You're gonna know you cheated.
Book my
game.
flight. Yeah, we all been in class looking over, looking. We all like, come on now, like, book my flight, man.
I mean, that's what a lot of dudes did in the steroid era. They did steroids for like 2 years. They went from hitting 20 home runs to hitting 50 home runs, got a big contract, and then the next year they hit 15 home runs.
So deep. But
AB would do that.
I'm gonna pose a question to you that you just asked me.
AB wouldn't do that. Don't listen to him, y'all.
Man, book my flight, man. Where the doc at, bro? Shit, book my flight, man. How you talking about?
Yo,
come on, man. I'm out there flying around. Shit, stronger recovering.
Tuesday, you back to 100.
Man, I'm back 100%. Like I'm in the joint. I'm squatting 375 at the Monday night game. Man, book my flight, man. Stop playing with me, man.
I don't believe you, man. But nah, I wouldn't do it. You ain't gotta ask your question. I wouldn't do it, man.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I understand.
I wouldn't cheat the game, man. I wouldn't cheat myself.
Shit, you ain't cheating the game. Shit, you getting up, you in the weight room every day. You watching film. You know what I'm saying? Like you paying it forward to the young guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, you gotta assume it's a few guys in the hall that you know that did it, but you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things, man. Like you said, it's different eras, and based on what he did in this era, where it's tough to do, that's the only reason I would give him the edge. But once again, somebody asked me hey, Darius, who's the home run king? Barry Bonds, hands down, is the home run king, without a doubt.
Definitely.
Man, it's funny though. It's funny we talk about this, right? So my DB coach in college, he played in the league for 13 years, and he would just have these different stories where I'll be in the office watching film. He'll just be telling me like just different stories as his career, and he was just talking about back in the day how guys, you know, they would have jobs in the off season, like real live 9-to-5s in the off season.
Yeah.
And, you know, he played corner, and he was a tall, lanky corner, 6'3", 170-some pounds, right? And he was like, man, like, I'm doing everything in the motherfucking off season. Like, I'm eating, I'm working out, I'm lifting, but my little ass just can't gain no weight or get bigger. And then he was like, then I'm coming back. You know, once it's time to get ready, I'm looking at all these motherfuckers in the locker room like, yo, like what they doing that I'm not doing?
Hard
he
work.
was like, so enough, he found out. He was like, man, they just had that. The one thing that they was doing, he wasn't doing, was just going to that doctor. What I'm like, but then I just thinking like right there, just like it plays with your mental, like shit, like these motherfuckers doing it. Yeah, not saying you're gonna be a leader, but it's like it's one of them things. Like I can't let these guys have that upper hand on me. But it's interesting though.
What's going on with this connection?
Spectrum.
I can't hear you now. Hold on. Yeah, Zeke. But I don't know. You can still hear me. Let me get a thumbs up. You can hear me, though. All right, well, you can still hear me. Yeah. Look, man, I get it. And maybe if I'm in the locker room and it's different like that, I know everybody doing something. You line up across a guy, you know, hey, he on something. But I'm like in the NFL, I ain't feel like a lot of guys was on that.
It was some guys
like that. People were doing.
I ain't gonna say no name.
Some things, but I felt like I was good enough. I felt like I could get it done, all natural. So I got out the mud, man. I'd do it again. I wouldn't say 100 times over, but at least 20 times over.
No. Oh, there you go.
AB said book the flight.
Book the flight, man. What you talking about?
Hold on, let me try to get this connection.